Welcome back to the Lost Legacies podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sam.
If you're saying, what's up with these voices? These are our professional voices because we have now been on air for over 1 year.
What is time?
I don't know, dude, but I think that makes us official podcasters at this point.
Yeah, I guess so. Congratulations to us. We should be sipping whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? We should be drinking right now.
Yeah.
So we're doing a special 1 year anniversary episode. So we're not really talking about Lost at all. Instead, we're going to be talking about each other, or really more just to each other. Because a couple episodes ago, we did like that one about brothers, and I ended up asking you those random questions about, it was really about anything, but it was like, I think I looked up like good questions to ask your sibling or something like that. And it was pretty cool. So I came up with a bunch of questions here. I'm going to be rolling a die to pick them at random. And we're just going to see what happens. We're just going to spend the next hour asking each other random questions. So I don't know if it's going to be exciting or not, but this is what we're doing. So, Sam, why don't you go first, man?
All right, man. I'll go first. Let's see what we got here.
I'm nervous.
I'm gonna roll my die.
I hope I get the answer right.
If you had 3 wishes, what would you wish for?
Now, okay, granted, I come from the Dungeons and Dragons universe, so I would be very, very specific in the way I word my wishes because I know how badly the wish spells can go. This ain't Aladdin, okay? I think I would wish for a lot of money, or like something to the effect of like unlimited money. A way to make my own money. That sounds illegal though. But some I would make money one of them, because when I think about like all the good you can do in this world, the main contributing factor from stopping people is money. There's so much more you can give to this world other than money, but if you had it, you can do so much. We're always calling out all these billionaires in space now. Why don't you do something with your money? I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. If I had a wish spell, I'm going to wish for like all those guys' money combined, and I would put it to good use. I would still further the space exploration, of course, but I would also do a lot more, put even more energy into climate change, hunger and homelessness, bunch of other stuff, probably some charities, things like that. And so that would be one of those wishes. It's something money. 2, a good lawyer, because the more money you have, the more legal issues you're going to run into.
I guess so. Sure.
I don't know. Magic?
You want magic to be real, or do you want magic specifically?
I want magic.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like that's a cop-out answer, but
you had 2 solid choices. Just I don't know.
I would wait. I would take my time
coming up with a 3rd wish.
Second, I only have 1 so far, and it's money.
No, you said your second one was you'd get a lawyer.
That was joking, Sam.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't just throw a wish away like that.
Why waste it on a blood-sucking lawyer? Right?
Yeah. I don't know. What about you? Do you know any of your wishes, or?
Not really. I mean, okay. Well, first of all, mine would be the same as you. For the first wish, would be like money, and I would also be very specific. So I was on Instagram the other day, and I follow like some like artist account. Like they actually make some really cool art, but they always do like these weird questions, probably just get more engagement. But it's like would you rather? So would you rather have this, or would you rather have this? So it's like, would you rather have the ability to fly, or the ability to go back in time? It's just like things like that. And like it's always intriguing to me. But this one they had specifically, it was like, would you rather have, or like, which would you rather have? $1 million instantly, or receive $50,000 every single month for the rest of your life.
Oh, 50K every month. Easily.
Dude, see, that's what I was thinking. But then everybody else was just like that. The ratio was like, I don't know, like 85% of people said they wanted $1 million instantly. So we would both be in like the smaller category.
Yeah.
But that's what my thinking was like, you're going to get more.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little bit, to get there. But it's like, if I am guaranteed $50,000 every single month for the rest of my life, that changes everything about everything that I do. The way I move through the world, the way I make decisions about my own life. And, I'm just like, yeah. So I would wish for $50,000 every single month for the rest of my life.
That's pretty good. There's the lotto ticket, the weekly grand. It's the only scratch card I buy. You can get, like, if you win the big prize, you can get a lump sum, or you can get $1,000 every week for 20 years.
Whoa.
Dude, I was like, yeah, I'm in.
That's incredible. Yeah, hell yeah.
I would love that. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, man. Just people aren't good with money. They aren't. Like, our education system doesn't put a priority on a lot of things. One of those is life skills. And one of the life skills is dealing with money.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nuts, dude. I think I'm pretty good with saving money. For the most part. I'm also the same guy. Like, I'm straight up spending money on food every single day. But I can afford it because I literally don't buy anything else. I guess you would say, like, the most of my money goes to if you like bills, of course, but it'll be food and then like subscriptions. You got your Netflix, Paramount, whatever, all of those. That's pretty much it. Like, I'm not someone who goes and buys stuff. I don't even buy clothes. I do, but like, it's very minimum. Like, okay, I'm just going to buy this one thing. And then maybe next month I'll buy something else. I'll buy a shirt. Next month I'll buy pants, something like that, That's a very roundabout way of saying, I don't know. I would use that first wish. And then the second one, I would want like Scarlet Witch powers or something, like the power to shape, mold the universe. Because like, I still don't really know how her powers work. So it'd be something like that. Because as much good as I could do with a lot of money, I think there's still a lot of bad and a lot of evil out there that I don't want to. You're gonna start talking about dealing with morals now. Like, okay, well, who deserves to get away with what and to do what? How do you protect your own? So it's all those things. Like, I wish I had those powers. I would intend to do good with them. If I only do good with them, that's up to the world to decide. Because I don't know. I'm like Galadriel, like, I would be your glorious queen or whatever she says. I don't remember. But she goes all evil for a second. Yeah. And the third wish, I don't know. I'll save that.
Yeah. You'll save that? Okay.
Yeah, to wish the genie free or be free, wish. What do you want, So
to gain glorious and infinite power across the realm. That's what the wish would wish for. Yeah. I guess my second wish, damn, you took a good one, like just having the powers to create anything you want. Dang, I would want, yeah, I don't know. Okay. Actually, I do know what I want. I would want the power to where every idea that I have in my head that I like, that I want to write down for a story, I can sit down and just do it without any qualms, without any like problems or hangups or anything. Like, I just want to like, oh, hey, I have an idea for a story. Excuse me one moment. And then I actually sit down and I write it down. I take the time to do it and write it out. That's the superpower that I want.
Right. To fight, what's it called?
Just to fight that, like that.
To fight writer's block or lack of inspiration.
Yeah. Well, see, it's not even like lack of inspiration. It's just like, it's the blankness. It's the fact that it's an empty page, and it's terrifying because it's kind of the thing of like, what am I doing? Like I have this really cool idea that like, and you want to talk about affirmations and all. It's like, yeah, like I can believe in myself. I do believe in myself. I do believe that I have stories that only I can tell. But then I'm sitting at my desk. I have the pen and the blank piece of paper in my hand, and I'm like, crap. What if it's bad? What if I'm bad? What if it's not good? Like it's all of those things, and it's like it's being afraid to start, so then you never start. I would just, okay, that would be my wish then. Instead of having that, it would just be like to take that portion of my brain away, that fear of like, and just be like, okay, I'm just gonna do it.
That's some real heady stuff. Like I wonder what you would lose by getting rid of that.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, maybe I go evil, maybe I do a bunch of crazy things. Sam. But like, I just want, oh man, don't get me started on Evil Sam. Evil Sam's weird. And my third wish, I would just wish for every single prediction I have about Lost to come true.
Jeez. Yeah. Doesn't sound like a good wish to me. I would remake Lost. That's what I would do. That would be my wish.
I think that's what would happen. Like it would eventually just remake the show.
Yeah. I don't know what
I want it.
I don't know what my third wish would be. Maybe I'll think of it by the end of this episode.
Yeah, we'll circle back to it.
Speaking of which, we got a buttload of questions, so let's keep going.
I know. Sorry.
We got some good questions too. This isn't one of them. All right, Sam, who is your current celebrity crush?
Oh, geez.
This one's tough too, because I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, I don't know who mine is.
Oh, my current celebrity crush.
Let's get into Sam's head.
Oh, geez.
Who's Sam crushing on right now as far as celebrities go?
Geez, I don't know, man. All right. Just for the sake of time, I guess like I'm just gonna have to go with. Okay, yeah, it's a tie between Florence Pugh and Kristen Stewart.
Interesting. Kristen Stewart keeps like going and coming back, coming back. I'm a fan of her career, dude. Like, she's at this point where she can do whatever she wants, but what she wants is very specific, but always seems to challenge her. I think she's very underrated as an actor. Kind of same way Pattinson was until recently. People actually started like paying attention to him. All right, that's a good one. And Florence Pugh, like,
need we say more?
Yeah, my heart skips a beat at the mention of her name. Florence Pugh. Oh, I could get behind that.
What about you?
If I had to pick one, I would say Kat McNamara. She's the current Arrow in the CW. She was on the Shadowhunters show for a while. She was in The Stand, the new one. But most of the stuff, like I watch her, and it's usually like interviews. And one of the reasons why we're doing the show, I love listening to podcasts, and I've like just randomly run into so many episodes with her in it because she's like does one episode on every podcast. Like everyone wants to talk to her, and she's super friendly, super nice. I feel like you would bake some like muffins or something during the day, have a nice dinner, and then you would go kick somebody's ass at night, like some bad guy, She just has like that toughness and the sweetness all combined, and she's super intelligent. I think, I don't know the years, but she graduated high school early. She got her college degree super young. She wanted to be an economist, which is really fascinating to me.
That is interesting.
And yeah, man, brains, bronze, sweetness.
Love it. All right.
Next question.
Next question. Oh, well. See, like you, I also have a lot of good questions to ask. Unfortunately, this is not one of them.
Go for it.
What's your favorite fast food chain?
Oh, wow. I don't know. I guess Bill Miller's, is that fast food?
Yeah,
it is, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't, the quality doesn't feel like it. When you eat it, it doesn't taste like other fast food. Like when you go to McDonald's, I'm like, this tastes like a McDonald's burger, not a burger.
Yeah.
That's not how I feel at all about Bill Miller's. Their barbecue, it's not the best, but I like it. And I love their brisket.
Mm-hmm.
I really dig their fried chicken. I think the quality of food you're getting for the price point and the speed, that's like it's really good deal. Hell
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's why I kind of have to stop and think about if they're fast food because I think the quality is a lot better than fast food.
Okay, so if we say that they're not fast food, what would it be then?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know. I'm tired of everything. I know that's a very privileged thing to say, but it's just like I we work in a neighborhood that has a lot of money. So
Mm-hmm.
the affordable food to eat is very limited. So I've been eating the same places over and over for over a year and a half, and I'm just tired of everything.
Yeah,
I guess Whataburger,
that was gonna be mine.
because there's always there's something for everyone. I know a lot of people come from out of state to try Whataburger, see what's the big deal, but the reason it doesn't really work, and a lot of people say like, "Oh, it wasn't that great." It's because there's literally so many options you don't know what to ask for.
Mm-hmm.
So like there is literally you could get whatever you want, but if you're traveling from out of state, you don't know that. You just get the
Yeah,
cheeseburger or whatever the
yeah.
number one, whatever that is. Nobody gets the number one unless you're my parents and they share it. So yeah. I don't know if you want
Cool.
to add to that because you were gonna say Whataburger, but
No, that's basically it.
oh oh man. Of course, these two questions would be back to back
Uh-oh.
that I ask you. All right, Sam. What fictional character do you have a crush on?
Oh, geez. The hell kind of question is
I
that?
think those are my only two crush questions. Okay. It just so happened that they were the first two that I rolled.
They better be. I'm married, Matthew.
All right. What fictional character do you have a crush on?
Oh man. Fictional character do I have a crush on? All right. I'm just gonna go it's gonna be Vanessa Ives from Penny Dreadful.
Oh, good one. That's a
Yeah.
really good one. That's a heartbreaking one, too.
Yep, I know.
Oh, man.
I know. But it's yeah, because you've got Ava Green as, Vanessa Ives, who's just this clairvoyant kind of like witch,
Mm-hmm.
and she's incredible. She's incredibly, strong. She has a very strong faith. She's a very powerful will. And yet she allows herself to be, you know, to be herself around, these very other like powerful, monstrous men. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she becomes like the glue that connects everybody together and like forms that weird little family. And yeah, I don't know. She's just great.
You see, I think you and I are both really like extremes because one, like we're
Mm-hmm.
storytellers to the core, man. So like we like those character arcs, and just like the nuances in those characters. And because I think the easiest one for me to say would be Harley Quinn. And it's interesting because a lot of people there are, it pisses me off, but they ship Harley and the Joker, and
Yeah.
it's just like, of course you would, it's the most toxic thing ever. But like that, like to me, Harley is, I don't know what it is that like that attraction is. What's that pull? It has something to do with, she has her own code, her own sense of morals and values. So it's not just like crazy random chaos. It's like, no, she does stand for something and she does have her beliefs, but she's just willing to break all the social norms to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. There's something I love in, slight spoilers for the Suicide Squad movie, the new one, where she kills that guy, the president,
Yeah.
and she talks about, she's talking about Joker, but she sees all the red flags now and all this stuff, and the shot is him on the ground face down in a puddle of his own blood. And she says, I think you're prettier this way, with your head empty of all those bad thoughts. It's so messed up. It's so twisted.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that I like it because it's twisted. I like it because it makes sense. I think it's really good writing. And that's very consistent with Harley Quinn throughout the 2000s. I'm sorry, the knots, you know. They really started focusing on making her own character. And at this point, she's very much an anti-hero. She's no longer a villain in comic books or the way society sees her. And I think that's something we both like. And it's not just in women, because we mentioned 2 women. It's like in any character. I am instantly going to be attracted to the character that has the growth and that we can see it. Now, when I say attractive, the question was like a fictional character trust. And I think that's what we're talking about. But I also want to say, I think it's also just not a crush either. If we talk about Game of Thrones, let's not get on a tangent, but there's a big difference between the characters in the books and the characters in the show.
Sure.
Whereas I don't want to say attracted because I'm talking about the Stark kids, but I'm really, really drawn to Arya Stark and Sansa, because you know from those first few chapters where these stories are going.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's right away, as soon as you meet Arya, like, oh, she's gonna become a badass. She's gonna become a warrior. Sansa's like, oh, she's gonna have everything ruined, and she's probably gonna come out stronger for it.
Mm-hmm.
Although those things are technically the same in the show didn't really know how to do it.
Yeah.
Because it just gave you what you expected. Whereas the book, they really showed the character arc in the journey. Like, yes, Arya is a badass, but at what cost? And that's something the show never, ever focused on.
Yeah. Yeah.
At what cost is she a badass?
Mm-hmm.
Who does she have to hurt? Who does she have to? I mean, she basically becomes a recluse, at least this part in the books. And in the book, she's still blind right now, I think, or she just got her vision back.
She just got her vision back. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't really get to see the payoff yet in the books, but pretty sure it's not going to go down as easily as it does in the show.
Yeah.
So that to me is what draws me to a fictional character. It's like the umph.
Okay.
So your turn. No crush questions.
Funny enough, who's your Game of Thrones crush? No, I'm kidding.
Lord Varys. He's my favorite. I love that guy.
What would be the name of your pirate ship?
Oh, dude, I already got it. You know it.
Or your spaceship?
It would probably be the same thing.
Okay.
The Hush Puppy. Yeah, I would totally name my ship the Hush Puppy. I don't care how. In fact, it's funnier if it's a bigger ship. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay, cool. So I'm imagining that your space pirate ship would also be the Hush Puppy.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. What
about you?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I love the word obsidian. Mm-hmm. And so I would probably just call it that. So it's like obsidian.
It's got to be black though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's not, you can't use that name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, totally. It would be a, like, if it's a spaceship, yeah, definitely. It's all black. And like it hopefully has some sort of like cloaking for like the radar or whatever. So yeah, definitely the obsidian.
Okay, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, here we go. Would you, Sam, rather star as the lead in a movie or a TV series?
Ooh. What's it about?
Anything. What are your options? What would make you choose one over the other?
This is a good question, because it's like, is it like a Marvel movie, or is it like a?
It's up to you.
Oh man.
So if you're gonna think about that, I'll tell you, because I already know mine.
Okay, yeah. What's yours?
With these parameters, no info about either of these
About either of the
projects,
projects. Yeah, yeah.
I would probably go with movies
Okay,
because as an actor, that's what made me want to be an actor. It was the movies.
that's true.
You know, I like, to me, my dream would be like to 50, 75 years from now, after I'm dead, my face shows up on like Turner Classic Movies. You know, that's the goal. Just one. I just want one movie to end up on Turner,
Yeah,
because that reminds me of like watching stuff with dad.
yeah.
Usually something with John Wayne or something on Turner, or we would rent something from the library, an old
Hmm.
classic. I want to be in something that's considered a classic in the future. It
Okay.
doesn't technically, it doesn't even have to be a lead. I just want a cool role in a classic.
Mm,
So for this question, I would say a movie.
a movie. Okay.
I think if we had more info, I would probably say a TV series, depending on the story, because it's longer form, and a good show, especially that we're seeing, you know, a lot more good television now than we have in the past. It's a longer story. So you get to see a lot more growth with those characters than you do, you
In
know.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things like, look, we're almost done with season 2 of Lost. The episodes we've watched of Lost just up to this point is more than all of Star Wars, you know,
Yeah.
not including the shows, which are still fairly new within the last decade or 15 years, you know, even with the
Hmm.
cartoons.
Hmm.
But if you talk about the movies, oh man, yeah, it's not that long. Whereas
Okay.
something like Lost, you're measuring that in like hours.
Hmm. Yeah. I think because I do feel that appeal, that want to like, oh yeah, like be in a movie series or just sorry, just be in a movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would probably I think I would do TV.
Mm-hmm.
I would do TV. If one, I get to be the lead. It's like, okay, like I have the same pressures as the main character in a movie, except I have to get people invested in episode one, and then I have to keep wanting them coming back. Keep wanting them, to come back, to tune in every week, or for binge watching, like to binge every episode just to see where I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because hopefully, if I'm doing a good enough job, people aren't just going to watch my show for, like the two side characters who are like, oh yeah, I prefer those guys instead of, I don't care anything about Sam.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, so I would say TV series.
Cool. Next question.
Now let's get serious.
Uh-oh.
At what age did you realize that you probably were never going to retire, and how have you coped with that?
Oh God. um now now age.
Was it just now? Was it me reading this
Yeah,
question to you?
yeah. No, I don't know. Like I think that's something very interesting between our generation and our parents. We don't think we're going to get a retirement.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's a big thing. That's a big difference. It's kind of also a lot of reason why, you know, people our ages aren't settling down or aren't buying houses. It's one of those, we came from privilege, we were promised all this stuff, and then as soon as we turned 18, it all went to crap.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like my generation, you know, because people started getting married, tried buying houses, and then that was right when the housing market collapsed. You know, it was my generation were the ones between that 18 and 23-year-old age span, which one is it's already too young to be buying houses anyway, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're the ones who ran into that. They faced that. And then we had to go through that. We had to go through the recession, and we're starting to realize, hey, college isn't the end all be all. You know, we're not really getting that degree isn't worth as much as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just the way to get a job. You go to college, so you have the best shot at getting a job once you're out. Now, of course, with the pandemic, things are kind of getting a little crazier, and I think it's gonna be harder to get those better jobs. because there's going to be more people fighting because they're taking less of those lower ones because they know they're worth more.
Yeah.
So it's like all those things combined, like we want to travel, we want to do all this stuff because one, we don't know how long we'll be able to do it. We don't know if the world's get like, just look at this pandemic. We can't travel.
Yeah.
It just seems like
be traveling,
or we shouldn't. Yeah. But even then, like a lot of countries aren't letting Americans in unless they have proof of vaccinations. It's like so much. We grew up with so much dreams and so much plans, so many plans, but it seems like as time goes on, those opportunities are less and less. No one really told us the real struggle. It's like we were kind of grew up in this bubble and just got popped, and we weren't ready for the real world, Sam. No one told us the rules of the Hunger Games before they dropped us into the Hunger Games.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Nobody told us we were playing the Hunger Games before they dropped us in,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. No, yeah. I feel that because, and it sucks because, we know people who have multiple jobs and are still struggling to make ends meet. And that's not because they have a frivolous, lifestyle or they're not good with their money. Like that's not true of everybody's case. It's just that that's what it takes now. That's the struggle that people are facing is like, even between two people having multiple jobs can barely afford the cost of living. And it's like, everything is getting more expensive and wages either aren't staying the same or aren't growing, or they're staying the same, or they're lower. And it's like, that's like, it's ridiculous. And so, like it's horrifying. And it is an absolute response to just be like, you know what, this is like this apartment, that's where we're going to stay. That's where we're going to be. Dreams of a house, forget it. Like that's a dream, live
fast, die young, because we don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, the flip side is like, I don't want this to come off like I'm complaining or I'm whining, because the truth is like, this is just the reality. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. This is how we were raised. You're still learning in those late teen years, and throughout your 20s, you're still growing. This is what we've been in while we went through that growth. And I think that's why now there's going to be some asterisks because not everyone's the same. And if you take out veterans, like this doesn't apply to anyone who's been in the military or first responders of any kind. So excluding them, I think our generation is a lot stronger than the one that came before us. That is why all the pushback and everyone trying to stop progress is from another generation. This is why it's happening now.
Yeah.
The world is changing because of people our age and younger. It's because this is how we were raised. We're not afraid of progress because, or let me take that back. It's not progress people are afraid of. It's change. We're not afraid of change because the world's been changing constantly since we were young. Our parents went through so much stuff just worldwide, but now we're talking about stuff we never thought we would see in our lifetimes. Struggles we never thought we would have to face again. But we are. But our generation isn't afraid of it, because we went through the shooting drills at school, because we go to school not knowing if someone's going to bring a gun or not. We were in school during 9/11. Like all of these things is kind of what just makes us more resilient. And then, like I said, they kicked us out into world unprepared. You sink or swim. And everyone who's out there following their dreams, working their butts off, or trying to raise their families in this world, stronger, because it's harder to do this stuff now than it was when our parents were our age.
And I will say this too. I think also what helps our generation be as strong as it is the fact that we are so open with like our mental health and our boundaries, which is kind of a fairly recent thing for us,
for humankind.
Because it's like we we as humans, like we didn't put a lot of emphasis on that, on having, mental breakdowns. It's like, oh, like normal people don't do that. It's like, no, everybody does that. Everybody has a breaking point. And it's like, we keep coming to these things. It's like every week there's a new thing that gives us like a breakdown. It's like, oh my God, like how are we even still doing this? Like, how are we doing this? But, you know, everybody being so open and honest about how they feel, about their boundaries, about needing time to recuperate, and then also just like the resources and openness of people going to therapy. I think that is one of the biggest changes too, and that's really helping out a lot of people. And I I haven't found, as of the taping of this episode, I have not yet found a therapist to talk to, but that is something that I am actively looking for. I am looking for somebody to just talk to. And I get I get a lot of support from my wife, from my friends, from family. And yeah, like that's, I can't express enough like how much that just, it's incredible to have that kind of support.
So basically what the point is, like, we're really all about self-care.
Yeah.
That's something that's never really, no generation has ever put a priority on that before.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at good and bad, everything we're going through is because of the generation before. Everything they went through is because of the generation before.
Mm-hmm.
We're strong because of the way they raised us and because of the world they left us.
Mm-hmm.
We're also struggling because of the way they raised us and the world they left us.
Right.
That's just life. But we're the ones, we're not the first to try and make a better world for the generations that follow, because at some level everyone tries to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what we do, our kids and our grandkids are going to blame us for something, and they're going to be right. Even things now that we consider social norms are going to be controversial or off top, or what's the word,
like off color.
Yeah, off color or whatever. It's just it won't fly in the future, and I get that. But I think, yeah, we're the first ones who are like, okay, we got to better ourselves in order to better who comes next, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the quote somewhere, I don't know who posted it on Facebook, but it was something like, the world needs more old men who plant trees that they know they will never sit in the shade of. I was like, yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what all of this is. Nothing we're fighting for is going to happen tomorrow or in a year. It's going to take time. All we can fight for is that our kids don't have to go through the same crap.
Yeah.
You know what? That's going to make our kids weak, because they never went through it. They never went through it. But when it's their turn, they're going to have their own battle to fight,
Yeah.
I don't even remember what your question was, but that was a good little sidetrack.
Yeah. Much, that question was something that I was like, oh, this is going to get a laugh, and I'll see what response. Yeah. And that's been probably the most meaningful, response that we've had this whole time.
So last thing I'll say about that is therapy, because therapy is a privilege. Therapy does cost money. I know so many people can't get it.
Yeah.
You need to make it a priority. And if you can't afford it, or you can't find, and here's another thing too, a lot of people can afford it, but they can't find someone who really meshes with them. It's just like any other doctor. You need to find someone who really works with you, or like a first date. You need someone you really connect with, because you're talking about mental stuff. You can have a jerk doctor and he's still going to do his job and tell you what's wrong with your body, but you can't have a jerk therapist, because like that's going to destroy you mentally. So take your time, do your research, try things out, but also, therapy also isn't for everyone. If you can find other kind of outlets or way to manage, go for it, go all out. I always tell people, go to therapy. I haven't been in years. I think I'm fine. I honestly, I'm actually honestly curious. Like, if I went to a therapist today, like, I have no idea what we would talk about because I think I'm fine. But then again, so does the rest of the world. All right, Sam. So
Oh,
here's next
geez.
question.
All right.
What's one hobby or skill you would really like to do, but it's not a priority for you?
Ooh, one hobby or skill.
Yeah, and I worded it that way because it's nothing like super like it's not something like super important, you know? It's
Yeah.
just something that you, if you had the time and the resources, like, yeah, I would like to pursue that.
Okay. You know what? I got it. Woodworking.
Really?
I would, yeah, yeah. I would really like to have the time to dedicate to just working with wood,
Mm-hmm.
be it like carving something or just like building
Yeah.
things. I've always loved that. You know, when we were kids and dad was in the garage, like I always wanted to be around dad. And then he'd just give me like a block of wood and a couple of nails and a hammer. And I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
just like hammer. Like that was all, that was all I did. And then as we got older, we would help him with stuff. And it's like, yeah, I really like, and I think that's where like the thing comes from, where it's like I really like working with my hands. I like
Mm-hmm.
being creative. And yeah, like that's always been something, because I've tried painting, and I like it. I enjoy it. And, sometimes I still do it for fun. But yeah, I think that, yeah, that would be the thing, is like I would love to just like be able to have a workshop and just whittle away at something, just like make some sort of carving, like figure out a way to like, oh, like I wonder if I can make that, and just like try and figure that out. Yeah, that is something that I miss about well, about living with mom and dad, but yeah, that's just something I miss in general, because like the last time I feel like I did that was probably something for Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Damn, dude.
yeah, that's been years.
Should have said something. I mean, I had a job at a wood shop for a while,
I
and
know, I
that's what I
know.
love. Like, it was never something that I missed, but as soon as I got that job, like, I realized how much I missed it.
Mm-hmm.
Because same thing, doing it with dad growing up and stuff. And then I had an interesting education just in theater, because
Yeah.
I was one of the only people there, at least when I first went to school, who had like shop experience, who had worked with
Mm-hmm.
the tools before. I also got in trouble because, if you work in a wood shop, you build things to last. That's the last thing you're supposed to do in theater. Like, why
Yeah.
are you guys I don't know, why are you guys doing it this way? This thing's gonna fall. So yeah, it's that balance of, you got to make it safe and sturdy, but it's got to come down really quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed my job at Elevate Woodshop.
Mm-hmm.
RIP. I know Brian, who was my boss, he misses it too, because like he's been posting some stuff uh on his Instagram, some of the old greatest hits of those projects.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of tables. It was mostly tables, and then like the bike racks and things like that. But yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
was fun. But if I could pursue one thing, if I had the time, energy, and money, I really want to learn how to bake. Like, and I've been thinking about it.
Ooh.
I've been thinking about doing like baking classes, because I want to bake like everything, like pastries and other stuff. I'm just like, I don't know. To me, I'm very much, I'm a homebody for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But like I want to just put my music on for a couple hours and just like never leave the kitchen. I just want to bake. I just
Yeah.
want to do stuff. And the cool thing about that too is because, like, cooking's cool and all. We all got to eat. But there's just something about baking that I enjoy more.
Mm-hmm.
Something about it just looks really fun and it feels like my vibe. I think I can be very creative with baking more than I could in a just standard cooking sense.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know. So that's me. That's
I
mine.
like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
All
I
right.
never
Next
knew that
question.
about you. Hmm.
Yeah. See, so this episode was all worth it.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
We're bringing out the big guns now.
Oh, jeez.
All right, dude. I wrote this question specifically with you in mind.
Okay.
So, Matthew Jimenez, cards on the table. Across time, beyond death, devoid of the laws of gods and man, build your dream D&D team.
Oh my God. Hey everyone, Matt here. Just wanted to jump in and say thank you for listening to this episode. Thank you for joining us for this past year of podcasting. It's been a ride, that's for sure. This episode we wanted to do just to, celebrate our 1 year anniversary of being podcasters. And I think we went a little too long. We just started talking and asking each other random questions, and it was a freaking long episode. So we ended up splitting it in two. I was even already in the editing process when I made this decision and realized I was only halfway done editing. That's how long this episode was. So we're going to go an episode or two without talking about Lost, but it gives kind of everyone a nice little break. It'll also give you a chance to catch up if you need to. So yeah. Join us again next week for part 2 of our 1 year anniversary special. And then after that, we should be jumping back into Lost. So as always, give us a like, subscribe, review the podcast, and find us on Twitter. Oh boy, here we go. Let's see if I can remember Sam's. You can find Sam at Twitter and Instagram at Reel, that's REEL, Texas Weirdo. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure that's correct info. And as always, you can find me on Twitter at _Matt Jimenez or on Instagram at Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. So, it just feels weird saying it by myself, I guess. But until next time, get lost.